I'm Sean, you're watching Hacking Patina, and this is Westcliffe, the 1960 CJ-5. In episode 1, we got it running, but we couldn't go scooter because I couldn't get the clutch functioning properly. So what does the guy do? The guy yanks the engine out. Well, along that little journey, he was getting a stronger whiff of rancid, smelly, wet animal funk with that oil smell. Like, what the heck? Well, we found ourselves the first critter nest tucked in the flywheel and the bell housing. My job today is to strip this down so I can get it off to the machinist and do the right thing and he can work his magic. But before we start digging into the dirty part of this, I thought a few of you guys may want to know a little bit about this F-134 versus the original L-134, the true flathead, the true World War II engine. So I brought in my trusty assistant. This was my first revival. This is Pueblo, a CJ-2A. Let's get in here. Let me show you the original. Just some basics. Just a quick understanding of what the original looked like. And we'll contrast it to what they did different for this girl. Let's get into the horse barn of the 48 2A. I did a restro mod on here. I just added a few of my little candy pieces that I wanted to have. Doesn't change the major differences that I wanted to know the difference, so I figured there's probably somebody out there also that would like to know what the difference is between the original L and F 134s. So this is the L 134 Go Devil, the World War II style. All the valves, the intake and the exhaust are in the engine block, right in here. This is your valve cover. It's short, flat, low hood. Jeeps use this engine, such as the MB, the 2A, and the 3As. Approximately 60 horsepower, 105 pounds of foot torque, out of the box, new. And the carburetor, you can see, it's kind of mounted lower. It's not mounted on top of the head. It's mounted lower on this exhaust or intake manifold, spaghetti twined in with this exhaust manifold. We get a little heat issue here, okay? Those are the main differences, right? Also, I wanted to point out that the intake and exhaust valve are very close in size, yet the intake is just slightly larger. It's hard to notice, but there is a difference in the size. Now let's go over and talk about the F. Now let's have a little quick discussion about those same components, but how they're utilized in the F head. So the engineers, they had to find a way to get a little more juice out of that old Go Devil, okay? But they didn't want to retool the whole factory. So they used the same block, okay? Same 134 block. We changed out the head. We got this going on up here, okay? So we have some visual differences. Well, what they did was they kept the exhaust valves in the block, right? But they moved the intake valves and the rocker assembly on top of the head. Well, we just raised this whole thing. Not only that, they moved the carburetor and put it on top of the head, right? They got it away from the exhaust side over here on the driver's side and moved it out of that heated area somewhat and off to the passenger side. Okay? What they also did, let's see if I can't do this carefully. They also increased the size of these intake valves. So those are much bigger now than the exhaust valves, noticeably by the eye. This is looking a little rough. So that created a taller engine. Well, with that taller engine, they had to come up with a different style front end. So they had the CJ-3Bs, which you have seen. They've got that taller hood and cowl. And they heightened and rounded up these early CJ-5s to fit this Hurricane. These will put out 72 to 75 horsepower and around 114 foot-pounds of torque. So they squeezed a little more juice out of them. Is it enough to go race a tractor down the road? Probably not, but they did what they're aiming to do and not have to retool their factory, just reuse the block. That's the major differences I just wanted to point out that I learned. Hopefully that helps somebody also in the future. So let's get into this disassembly. This is my first F-134 disassembly. So I am just going to follow some guidance from the service manual. All right. Doesn't mean the rules are going to be broken. Just a guidance paper. Okay. So obviously I've already done some of this stuff. Okay. Like I said before, I thought I was going to be able to get into the machinist several weeks ago, and then I found out he's going into surgery for his carpal tunnel. So that got postponed. But I started disassembling because trying to get into your machinist, and that's tough to do nowadays. There's so few of them. So let's get into this. Let's not mess around. Let's get this quick. Remove the water pump. Okay? Check. Water pump has been removed. Right here. Water pump. The water pump. It's rusted up pretty good. It has a little sticker on it right here. It says, "Rebuild up. Unit Parts Company. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Rebuilt up. Unit Parts Co." I don't know if any of you guys know that or not. That logo. Kind of cool. Water pump. Check. Exhaust manifold. Removed. And I already painted it. Check. Oil filter tube. Well, that was kind of there. Check. Check. The water outlet fitting. Check. Thermostat. Check. Remove crankshaft pulley. Crankshaft pulley. Check. Remove oil pump. Check. Remove crankshaft ventilator valve. Check. Remove rocker arm assembly. I'm keeping that intact, guys. My machinist wants to see this part, and he wants to organize the valves himself. So we are not disassembling the head. Remove cylinder head. Check. And there she looks like. Just pretty carboned up in there. And some of those water ports, they were clogged. I went through this already and I sprayed the heck out of it. I had the pressure washer on this. I did a lot of cleaning. Check. Ream cylinder bore ridges. Well, I've already felt in here, and there's really no ridges, thankfully. And I noticed this says 30 thousandths already. I see a 03 stamped on these. So it's had some work done. But let's blow these out real quick. Just really don't want anything kind of getting in there. Let me wipe them. The ones that I can, anyway. The ones that are sitting down in there. Clean up the wall a little bit. Yeah, these two, they don't have any lip to them, which is really nice. So I'm going to be able to pop these. I'm going to be able to pop these cylinders, or these pistons out fairly easy. Well, so I say. Remove the oil pan. Let's turn this over. Okay. Guys in there. A little closer, maybe. Remove the oil pan and the timing cover. Check. Okay. It didn't look too bad in there. There was some sludge, but it didn't look too awful bad. That I remember. Remove piston and connecting rod assemblies. Okay. So we're going to be removing these piston rod. What size is that? (9/16) it looks like. Now, we do want to keep all this in order. I'll put the brakes on. These have a little locking cap on them. I'm going to bag them up, guys, and label them. Okay. Let's tap, tap, tap. Okay. Remove the bearing rods, the rod bearing. This is where we get to inspect the bearings. There's the actual bearing. It doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad. Let's see if I can push this guy out of here. And out she goes. Now, I think I should have probably taped off the bolt heads, just so I don't scratch the wall of the cylinders. But didn't happen. It didn't happen that time. That's number one. All right. Assemble. I got to make sure I put these back in order. These are stamped 1-1. 1, 1, 1, 1. So you know you're putting them on there right. Okay. Nice. I'm hoping that the other one is 2 then. Let's go with that. That the other one's going to say 2. That one doesn't look bad either. So let's hope this one says 2. And sure enough, it does. 2. Two. Somebody did a good job. Somebody did a good job stamping their stuff. 2. Three. Now, I don't know if you guys are familiar with anything I should be looking for in particular. Let me know. Like I said, this is my first F-134. I heard there could be cracks in the head between the valve and the cylinder. That might have been common. Okay, let's hope this one gets stamped. This is 3. Stamp 3. Got a little discoloration there on that guy. Bearings seem alright though. Not seeing really any wear on the bearings. You know how they can get down to the yellow metal. So 3. Nice job. Last one. Looks good too. Also looks pretty good. So that's nice. This should be stamped 4. 4. Yep. Very good. Okay. Four. Perfect. So those are all stamped. We don't need to keep them in any particular order. They're good to go. All right. Next is remove the timing cover. Check. It's already down there, still connected to the oil pan. I think I'm being a little extra quiet on this one because I don't get to do this a whole lot. Still getting Still learning too. Still learning. Remove timing gear cover, remove timing gears. It says to use the puller W172. Well, I don't know if that's what I've got or not, but I've got the generic puller. Okay, I think you can get these about anywhere. And you got to clamp onto the, inside the holes on the outside of this. Okay, I need to remove this, the Woodruff key. I think this is an oil slinger. I believe that's what that is. There we go. The Woodruff key. Don't lose it. Oil slinger. Don't lose it. We'll bag it up. Bag it up. Okay. Let's go ahead and remove the cam gear. Okay, bag it up. Okay, now put the puller on here. So they say, tighten it up. Alright, I had to hack my pulley, guys, so that it didn't keep coming apart on me. But I see the gear coming off. See there, it just slid out again. It's so close. So close. It's coming. There it should be. This is a fiber gear. It looks pretty darn new. Looks to be in pretty good shape. Celeron. WO641283H. Well, that was a hack. Okay. Remove timing cover gears, both the crank and the cam. It looks like this one sits on there a little easier. And it's coming. That puller worked. Dad's puller worked a little easier on that one. I didn't have to rig something up. I didn't get it far enough. Pull it off by hand. I don't know why I jumped the gun there and stopped pulling early. That's called a premature pull. Stop. I did a premature. Looks good too, guys. The gear looks pretty good. The gear looks good. I'm wondering if a guy, I'm not going to say. Not going to say. Remove timing gears. Remove front end plate. Remove the front end plate. Okay. That's this guy here. Five-eighths. Does that look like a 5/8 to you guys? I think it is. I think it is. That's a 3/4. What did I do with the 5/8? It's on my other tool. It's on the other tool. Alright. Wrong sides. Of course. Okay. 9/16. Why didn't you guys tell me? Why didn't you jump in there and say, Sean, it's a 9/16? Save me some time. You could have saved me some time. Cam bolts. Cam and faceplate bolts. Okay. Oh, so we got one all caked up here. There we go. Is that it? That's it. Okay, I can get that all cleaned up too. Put that in the cam and the faceplate. Looks like we're getting down to pulling off. Got another woodruff key here. Spacer. Yep. All right, let's see what it says to do next. Remove the flywheel. Check. It's already removed. Okay. I wanted to say something about the flywheel. This is a 120, the F's came with 129 tooth. Okay. Ring gear on these things, 129. The CJ-2A over there, they could come with, in the early military Jeeps, they came with 97 teeth. The trucks and the whatnots in the early 50s, I think they came with 124s. And then the later, like the DJ-3A over there, the 58, it came with it's an L head. It's an L134, but it also came with a 129. I did a whole starter swap so I can get that project running with the starter from this. That's where I got that figured out. The L134s, they could have had 3 different size flywheels. Not sizes, but tooth count of flywheels. I wonder if they might have been getting heavier too. I guess they're getting heavier. Are they getting bigger and heavier? The tooth count? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. All right. Remove flywheel check. Remove crankshaft. Thrust washer and all the end play adjustment shims. Okay. Off the front. That means I got to pull that Woodruff key. Another Woodruff coming out. This is probably the incorrect way of doing this. Come on, little Woodruff. Got her. Got the Woodruff. Okay. Okay, we've got washer and a couple little shims, okay? Little baby shims. Bag it up. Let's bag it up. Crank washer, shims, Woodruff. Crank shaft, washer, shims, and wood. Okay. Now, note the marks on the bearing caps. Alright, pretty simple here. Just got to get them in the right direction, don't you? I'm going to take a picture just cause. Well, we know where the rear goes. Yep. 3/4. I don't know why you're not telling me this. Front. Trying to find it's got a number, and I can see the orientation of the number, but it's only going to go one way because you got the oil channels. Okay, you're not going to put it on the wrong way. Two. the numbers face the rear, and then the rear. What's the easy way of getting this rear out? Be careful. Be careful here. Okay, be careful. Okay. Okay, we got her out. You guys ready to work out? Okay, I'll be right there. Let me just finish getting this camshaft out of here. Or crankshaft. You can come over if you want. The girls are home from school. It's time to get their workout in. So I'm going to have to go. Alright, guys. It's out. And I'm just going to sit it right back here for now. Out of the way. I'll come back to it in a little bit. I'm going to go do some work with the girls. Okay? So let's take a look in here real quick. See what we find. No, you can see anything. Let me get the flashlight. Let me get a flashlight. I don't know. You can see everything looks, these bearings look pretty good too, guys. Nope, the bearing came off with the other one, but they look pretty darn good. I must say, I think this thing has been gone through and not ran too much after the fact. The cam lobes, they look pretty good. All right, I'm going to go do some family duty. I said duty. Let's remove a couple of this broken generator bracket. I'm sure it's going to need a little fire. My machinist wants me to leave the cam in. Don't want to break any bolts off in your block. Just give it a little heat. Melting my plastic table. All right, and one other thing I wanted to get out of here. Is the exhaust studs, okay? I do have an exhaust stud puller. Well, guys, I just did the Cardinal Sin, and I broke one of the bolts right off there. I didn't heat it, like I just said. I went after it, and I barely turned on it, and it broke. So now a guy's got to work on getting that out of there. Gosh darn it. Give him some heat, like I said to do. Save yourself the grief. Broke it right off. Darn it. Well, it happens. It happens. Let's try the one I just heated. Now I'm nervous. I'm going to heat it one more time. If I would have just listened to my own rules, heat them up, I didn't do it. They come right out, otherwise, right on out. Just got the workout done with the girls. They're doing good. It was a weight day. Alrighty. Ooh, that one feels like a booger. Ah! Ah! There's two, guys. There's two. I'm really doing a number now. I know better than this, too. I know better. Come on. Just need more heat, guys. More heat. I'm a little disappointed in myself right now. A little disappointed. It's going to take some time to get those out. Maybe I'll call my machinist and ask him if he's got the tools to get it done. Ah. Son of a gun.